Another severe weather outbreak is heading for portions of the region Tuesday afternoon and evening. This will mainly affect portions of Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, and Wisconsin, but also might affect portions of very far eastern Kansas and Nebraska, depending on the timing of the trough. Here is a look at the 500 milliball winds, as you can tell from the text, which covers the entire screen. But this shows the trough shape and some other features of the trough. This will be a negative tilted long wave that will move through the region. And you can see the jet streak is fairly strong, upwards of 100 knots, which goes from Nevada all the way up to eastern Nebraska and also Iowa, which is a very long jet streak. Here is a look at the low-level jet, which is the winds and the low levels in the atmosphere. It doesn't just look like Hurricane Katrina, but it also is a southwesterly low-level jet, upwards of 70 knots. This will also wrap around the surface low, upwards into North Dakota and also South Dakota. This strong of a low-level jet will allow for a strong moisture return, which means higher temperatures and also higher dew points. Here is a look at the dew points for Tuesday afternoon and evening. You can see they are in the mid to upper 60s for portions of Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. And you can see the weather warm front is situated over Iowa and also very far southern Wisconsin. The cold front is situated over portions of Iowa and Missouri. But there will be a couple other boundaries, probably an outflow boundary and also a moisture boundary, somewhere in between there, and that is where some supercells may develop ahead of time. Here I'll look at the temperatures Tuesday afternoon and evenings, south of the warm front and also south of the cold front or east of the cold front. Temperatures are around 80, even to low to mid 80s across portions of Iowa, Missouri, and Kansas. This is not a huge factor into sea weather, but temperatures being this high is a bit concerning. It's even higher than it was on Friday. Here I'll look at the instability values for Tuesday afternoon and evening. This allows for stronger or more sustained updrafts. You can see here they are pretty high, upwards of 3,000 joules in portions of Iowa, and then a little bit lower down to Missouri and Illinois, but still high enough for more sustained updrafts, especially as you get very strong wind shear in the low levels and mid levels of the atmosphere. We don't really have any better high-res data to look at for the placement and timing of storms yet, but we do have some long-range models to look at. These are going to be pre-photo storms along the warm front that will lift north Tuesday afternoon and evening. If there was no cap in place, tornado parameters are really high and also Cape values upwards of 3,000. This means these storms will likely become intense along the warm front, which is most likely across southern Iowa, northern Missouri, and northwest Illinois. More storms will then form across the second line and maybe a third line across southwest Iowa and also into northwest Missouri. Those will move east and northeast through the evening and even into the overnight hours. Those will be more of a damaging wind and a hail threat, but I do expect several supercells ahead of those two lines Tuesday afternoon and evening, which could produce tornadoes and even strong tornadoes as the strong tornado parameters are upwards of 4 to 5. PDS tour means strong to violent tornadoes are possible. On the top right, that is a photograph made up of several shear components like vertical and low-level shear. You can see it is very curved, which is very good for strong tornadoes, but bad for strong tornadoes. That makes sense. The critical angle is 63, and as it is closer to 90, that is better for stronger tornadoes. The farther away it is from 90, that is making the photograph not curved. We will have more detailed information like location and timing of the storms with the next video, which will be Monday evening. But I am done with this video because it has taken 3 hours to do it. Not actually, but still. So